What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners for today's 11-game NBA main slate, courtesy of Awesemo.com and presented by SuperDraft. It's a big slate today and one that's changed right in front of our eyes with the recent ruling out of Giannis Antetokounmpo. So let's get that power of positivity and air as we dig through it all. And right now, please hit that like button. And if you want to win a free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of SuperDraft, like the video and comment your top value play according to DraftKings salaries down below. We do have a winner from yesterday who we'll announce a bit later on. But right now, if you want to join that person at the pay window, like this video and comment your top value play down below. The data is going to change around a bit because of Giannis being ruled out, but as of right now, here's our first corner of the top owned plays in Donovan Mitchell in a match versus Minnesota. There's 112.3 implied points for Utah. Mitchell has 31% expected ownership on DraftKings, while he has 33% on FanDuel. Mitchell will be a top owned play against Minnesota's faster paced and defensively weak squad with 25 shot attempts in his last game, and Mike Conley still sidelined to open upside as Utah's lead ball handler. Another top owned play today looks like Bogdan Bogdanovic in a matchup versus Oklahoma City, where there's 105 implied points for Sacramento. Bogdan has 17% expected ownership on DraftKings, while he has 43% on FanDuel. Bogdanovic's price is hard to avoid on FanDuel, and he seems due for better days, but his usage has fallen off of a cliff since his injury issues, and a matchup against a fellow slow-paced Oklahoma City team doesn't seem like a spot to trust him as chalk. And another site-specific top-owned play looks like Kevin Love in a matchup versus Houston, where there's 108.8 implied points for Cleveland. Love has 40% expected ownership on DraftKings, while he has just 14% on FanDuel. Love projects for very high ownership on DraftKings with his price drop significantly, but he's been under 22.5 fantasy points in 6 out of his last 8 games, and he seems hard to fully trust, even though the low price does seem worth some exposure. For our next corner, let's hit on some of the top value plays, starting off with Ersan Ilyasova in that match versus New Orleans, where there's 124.5 implied points for Milwaukee. As I mentioned, Giannis Antetokounmpo is out, and Ilyasova could pick up the start as a 1.1 fantasy point per minute player in court time without Giannis, and low prices industry-wide. Another top value due to Giannis' absence is Chris Middleton in that match versus New Orleans, where there's 124.5 implied points for Milwaukee. Middleton was already playable in this match with Giannis in, but as a 1.4 fantasy point per minute player in court time without Giannis, Middleton is likely to be a top play of the day as well as one of the chalkiest. And it's a clean sweep for Milwaukee in the top values with Eric Bledsoe in that matchup versus New Orleans, where there's 124.5 implied points for Milwaukee. Bledsoe averages 1.2 fantasy points per minute with no Giannis when sharing the court with Middleton, and his projection also takes a massive jump thanks to the matchup and the lack of Giannis. For our next corner, here's some of the other top plays on the day, including Zach LaVine in a match versus Atlanta, where there's 113.5 implied points for Chicago. LaVine has over 30% usage in at least 18 shots in his last 3 games, and he faces Atlanta's poor defensive squad with a 111.6 defensive efficiency rating, who's also on a back-to-back. A top play in a tough matchup looks like Karl Anthony Towns in a match versus Utah, where there's 111.3 implied points for Minnesota. Towns has one very strong game and one dud versus Utah this year, but his price is down enough to take some stabs at him with a solid raw points projection from Awesemo. And another top play today looks like Pascal Siakam in a matchup versus the Clippers, where there's 110.3 implied points for Toronto. Siakam could benefit from extra usage if current game time decision Fred VanVleet misses again, but he projects well overall in what should be a competitive return to Toronto for Kawhi Leonard. And now for our last corner, let's hit on some of the lower owned dart throws, including Spencer Dinwiddie in a match versus Charlotte, where there's 113 implied points for Brooklyn. Dinwiddie hasn't had a huge day recently, but his price is solid with his usage steady. He's had at least 38.25 fantasy points in his last 8 games. Another lower owned guy who looks good is Jonas Valanciunas in a matchup at Phoenix, where there's 112 implied points for Memphis. Phoenix is better inside with Aaron Baines back in the lineup, but Jonas projects well with a reasonable price in a game with a solid team total, where he could have tournament winning upside if the game breaks his way. And our last lower owned dart throw is Brandon Ingram in that matchup at Milwaukee, where there's 111.5 implied points for New Orleans. Ingram will see slightly less oppressive defense now that Giannis is out, and he put up 21 shot attempts last game with his price reasonable given the upside he has in competitive games. So that's what it looks like so far for today's 11-game slate. So right now, please hit that like button. And if you want to win a free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of SuperDraft, like the video and comment your top value play according to DraftKings salaries down below. Yesterday, a couple people guessed Duncan Robinson correctly, but here's the winner right here, Dana Forden. So Dana, email me at chris@awesemo.com to collect your prize. And those free months of Awesemo Plus come courtesy of SuperDraft. So right now, head over to superdraft.io. On there, they have a special deal for you. You get yourself $20 free with any deposit of $100 or more. If you use that promo code Awesemo, you get the $20 instantly. So go to superdraft.io right now and use that promo code Awesemo for $20 free. And with this slate already getting wacky, you may want some more data at your fingertips, so use this promo code SWITCHANDHEDGE for half off your first month of Awesemo Plus. Go to awesemo.com/join and use that promo code right now for half off your first month, or find packages as low as $3.95 a week on there. Head over to awesemo.com/join right now and choose a package that'll work for you. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I've got 7 days a week of NFL and NBA content. My own personal podcast is on my pinned tweet right now, so check out what I've been up to right now on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. Tonight on Live Before Lock, it should be Josh Engelman and Fascinating Fear coming up for you guys, and I'll be back for you tomorrow with another Four Corners. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great night, and as always, good luck.